Hello everyone, this is Adam Alexander, and I'm here with Morgan, Devin, and Calvin discussing their new single from Save the World, Noble Warming. How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty sick, dude.
Doing pretty great, dude.
Cool.
Very nice.
Glad to hear it. Let's get right into it. For any person who hasn't heard of you, tell us a little bit about your band.
Yeah, so pretty much Save the World was just our best attempt to spread love and positivity throughout the world in the form of song,
Yeah, and we figured it's the only real way to save the world. Hence the name.
Sure, so how did the band start?
It started off just as kids, needing an outlet for our emotions. We just made music because we loved it and it really did us well. In retrospect, it was pretty selfish.
Yeah, when we started gaining some traction, we realized that we could really use this band to spread our influence, and that's kind of what we're trying to do with Noble Warming.
Yeah, we'll get into Noble Warming later, but do you have anything you want to say about the song before we listen to it?
I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say we had a really big idea that gave us inspiration for this song.
Yeah, speaking of inspiration, what has been your biggest inspiration?
Yeah, I would say overall it's Boys to Men, obviously, Billy Joel, and then I gotta throw in my homeboy Mozart, just because he's really legit, dude.
Yeah, you guys have certainly inspired a lot of people, hit after hit, and Mozart might even look up to you.
I don't
He's
know, man.
dead,
That's pretty
though.
crazy, dude.
Oh,
Wait,
Mozart.
yeah, dude, he is dead.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
It's okay.
all good. Rest in peace, man.
Save the World has agreed to let us air their new song on program tonight. So without further ado, Noble Warming.
Oh yeah, let's save the world together, baby girl. It just makes sense. Melt away all the sorrow. Melt away all the pain. Melt away all the hunger and thirst. Melt away all the cocaine. Melt away all the poverty. Melt away the wage gap. And in order to bring peace to the world, melt away the ice cap.
Wow. Wow. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, we really wanted to get across our super powerful message. I think we did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, so you guys mentioned something about melting the ice caps? What do you mean by that?
Well, I was eating breakfast and scrolling through Snapchat news one day when boom, I dropped my chai tea on the ground. Do you know that 70% of the earth is water?
Yes, I was aware of that.
Well, really that ended up inspiring us because the fact that there's so much water on the earth and countless people suffer from dehydration every year, it's crazy. I don't even understand that.
Yeah, something 90% of the world's fresh water is frozen, and only 40% of Africa needs water, so we'll have a ton left over.
We hear on the news all the time about global warming and melting the ice caps, and that's legit and all, but where they're wrong is when they say that it's a bad thing.
So you don't think global warming is a bad thing?
Look at him. I'm about to drop some truth on you, dude. If we melt the ice caps,
Ooh.
Africa will have no more mishaps. Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm following.
What my bro's trying to say is that like melting the ice caps will allow us to supply Africa with the water it desperately needs.
Just Africa, or is there any other place that you think can need this water?
Well, I mean, like, also California.
California.
yeah, like where we are right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Duh.
like, duh.
Come on, man.
No, I understand that California is the place where we are, but like, why California? I mean, there are so many impoverished countries that are very dehydrated and don't have a consistent and clean water supply. Why did you choose California?
Well, pretty much me and my bros were in the stew when we read this headline. It was saying like California is like completely out of water, and then we also saw that like global warming and like, you know, all that could flood California. So we were like, why don't we just take the water from the ice caps and help flood California?
Okay, I think I understand now. And I've actually done some research on this, and like NASA has researched that the ocean levels are rising at a rate of 3.2 millimeters a year, and this is doubled from the 20th century. And at this rate, global atmospheric conditions they predict anywhere from 0.42 to 1.5 meters every year until 2100. How do you react to this numbers?
I mean, those changes sound like kinda low. Like, what, only a few millimeters a year? That's like the size of like the width of one iPhone a year, like muy pequeño.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of what we're trying to do here is help bring those numbers up, so we have like more ocean level rising each year. You know, we want to get it to where it doesn't happen in just like 100 years. We want it to happen now.
Yeah, how do you plan on achieving that goal?
Well, Adam, we've been asking ourselves this question too, and after a while we figured like we couldn't just do it by ourselves. So we asked some nerds, and what they said is that basically if we just spread the word and get people to like pitch into our cause of destroying the ozone layer, then that's just the best way to go at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and like by destroying the ozone layer, he means activities just like supporting the coal industry or like driving really big trucks. You know, it's things like never turning off your electronic devices when you leave your house. You know, it's just like this lifestyle that we want people to follow.
Carpooling.
Oh yeah,
Don't-
never
yeah.
carpool, dude.
And recycling. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
well, I mean, yeah, obviously don't do anything like recycling.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it has been proven by science that dogs are just as bad for the ozone layer as SUVs, so we definitely need more of those.
yeah, for sure, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting point. But is it possible that destroying the ozone layer could have some negative effects across the world?
I mean, you gotta understand, man. Like, you win some and you lose some.
Well, I mean, like, if you think about it, like, life is a game of, like, winning and losing. You know, like, if your bank account, like, isn't looking too hot, like, you gotta go eat at Crystal. Like, it's a win because, like, Crystal's great, you know? But, like, at the same time, like, you could also lose and, like, die. So...
I guess that makes sense. However, everyone knows that no opinion comes without controversy. Rebecca Lindsay from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association wrote an article telling us that sea level plays a role in flooding, shoreline erosion, and hazards from storms. Do you have a response to that?
I don't know, like, that doesn't really, like, make, like, any sense to me. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
kinda weird.
it's kind of dumb.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
like, it's just water, like, how much damage could it actually do?
According to most scientists, a lot. But I absolutely see what you're saying there. Going off that point, what do you say to anyone that asserts your proposal in global warming in general could potentially create devastating events on the world?
Look, Adam, I'm gonna be real with you. I see no proof that global warming will actually cause any damage. Like, so what? The temperature goes up by a fraction of a degree. I don't think that's nearly as bad as the massive dehydration that we're seeing around the world and lack of moisture for farms and stuff. Like, just wear a T-top and some flops, dude. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So you think increasing the temperature could have positive benefits?
Exactly. I mean, we might melt some kid's snowman, but that's it. I mean, just make a sandcastle instead.
Yeah, like at some point you have to ask yourselves, what are you willing to do to save the lives of millions? And if some kid has to become really good at sand architecture, it's just the price we gotta pay.
Alright, well, I have to say, I think me and all of our viewers really learned a lot from this conversation, and I know it pushed you guys a lot, but I really did that only in order to make sure everyone really got to the root of your message. So it's truly been a pleasure, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys giving us a platform to spread our message on a large scale.
It's really great. Thank you, guys.
Respected.
I'm Adam Alexander from Interviews That Change the Way We Think, and as always, have a lovely night, America.